Today on OC News.
Millions of Americans are preparing to face the effects of SNAP benefits being cut.
Californians have voted yes on Proposition 50 to redistrict the state.
And the Los Angeles Dodgers have been crowned the 2025 World Champions after an electrifying Game 7. All this and more, starting now on OC News.
This just now in tech news. First responder on police
There's been a lot of collaborative efforts.
I feel blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the broadcast journalism students
at Cal State Fullerton. OC News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to OC News. I'm Ariel Phillips.
And I'm Kabir Kansara. Thank you for joining us. President Trump is facing backlash from several Democrats for refusing to fund SNAP benefits until after the shutdown ends. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, provides food support to millions of Americans each month. Democratic officials are calling out Trump for closing off SNAP benefits until the shutdown is over. The officials make the claim that these cuts would harm many vulnerable communities, such as children, seniors, and veterans. The Trump administration says it will restart SNAP benefits, but will only pay out half the amount people normally get.
The city of Fullerton awarded its fire department millions of dollars in grants. Our reporter Faraz Manyar has a story.
The Fullerton Fire Department has been undergoing many changes from the $3.1 million grant it has received from the city, with promises of 12 new firefighter positions, a personal wellness and cancer screening program, and a restoration of a paramedic unit.
The Station 6 was closed for a long time, and because we didn't have the staffing for it. So the concept is to reopen that station and staff it properly so that we can have better service coverage throughout the city.
These changes will make improvements in response time, medical access, and improve the overall wellness of our firefighters.
For the wellness program, that's a little different piece in that that's more of a standalone one-time award. And that only has, that I don't say only has, but it has a 10% match. So the city matches 10% of the $305,000. And that is essentially the plan for that is to establish a wellness program that will contain cancer screening and cardiac screening, in addition to mental health evaluations.
These changes still have a ways to go before becoming fully implemented, but when it's finished, it will give Fullerton City a more competent and vigilant fire department. In Fullerton, Faraz Manyar for OC News.
Construction on campus is bringing lower air quality conditions right in front of classrooms. Our reporter Jenny Guzman has the story.
It's something you do all day, without even thinking about it. Breathing in fresh air. It's an effortless task, but take a moment to think about all the particles your lungs could be taking in. Primary pollutants like dust can linger in the air and pose a serious threat to student health, especially with Cal State Fullerton's active construction projects this semester.
Under certain lighting, you can see the air is just not clear. There's dust everywhere, and you can see it on the streets too. So I feel like I haven't noticed it just yet, but with time, you might start feeling like you're coughing a lot, maybe your lungs are a little irritated.
The official U.S. Air Quality Index, AQI, shows that Fullerton falls in a moderate category for particle pollution, with higher AQI values meaning worse air quality.
The ongoing exposure to breathing in manure, smog, and dust can lead to serious health concerns for students, especially for those living on campus.
Well, I live in Elm, which is the closest to the construction where they're building the newer dorms, and it's very smoggy. Every time you walk out of the building, you get hit with smog, and not just the loudness of all the construction, it's just very hard to breathe sometimes. Lots of dust. It's just, you feel kind of stuffy most of the time.
Experts like Air Now recommend staying indoors and even limiting time outside when air conditions are poor or even moderate. Taking alternate routes to class to avoid construction zones is also an option. Reporting for OC News, Jenny Guzman.
The special statewide elections saw major Democratic wins across the nation, including California's Proposition 50. The measure was just passed and put the power of California's congressional district lines in the hands of voters. This move would give California Democrats the chance to win 5 more seats in the U.S. House. The California Republican Party filed a federal lawsuit this morning, aimed at blocking the new maps, Republicans are calling it a power grab, while Democrats say it is necessary to fight redistricting in Texas. It was the only measure on the Californian ballot, yet the fierce support and criticism was audible nationwide. Reporter Noah Sherson is here in the studio to talk more about Prop 50.
Thank you, Ariel. And yes, this was a very, very controversial proposition. We are going to dive straight into some of the congressional district and what changes we can expect. Looking here on this side, we have the yeses and no. The yeses are in orange, the noes are in blue. On this side, this is the 2024 presidential election map. What we're trying to do here is compare where the liberal sides are, where the conservative sides are. On the Republican side, we see some of these light red areas voting yes on Proposition 50. So it is likely that a lot of Republicans who had supported Donald Trump are now seeing the changes and are now supporting Proposition 50. It is important to note that as of noon today, only 35% of turnout has been counted. In the presidential election, there was 71.4%, so a much lower turnout considered today. Looking at how these districts are going to change now. On this side, this is the existing one. I want to focus on two districts. We're looking at District 1 and District 2. These are the new District 1 and District 2. The whole goal of this is to give the Democrats more seats. These coastal areas tend to be more liberal, with these inland areas tend to be more conservative. As you see this district in District 2, now extending into this inland area. These coastal areas tend to be more populated, which means that this is a higher density of Democrats than there are Republicans. These two districts have now gone from one Democrat to one Republican, from one Republican to one Democrat, to now being projected to actually be two Democrats. Now looking more at a close-up of Southern California, now that we kind of understand the message that's going on. These lines, they just look like doodles. We're going to zoom in a little bit right here. Two districts to look out for are District 48 and District 40. District 48, this district right here, spans a rather Republican area. This is a very conservative area. Now, 48 has this weird kind of hook shape. This has now turned it leaning towards the Democrats, with a Republican stronghold in the 40th district. These maps are suggested by the California government, but the California voters have accepted it.
Thank you for joining us and breaking down those complex maps, Noah. So I just had a couple questions for you, but I really wanted to know what makes this proposition so controversial among Californians.
Here's what makes it so controversial. This is a reactionary bill. So Texas was the first one to start these redistrictings this year, and so now the Democrats are kind of responding. The other part that makes it so controversial is this is the first time since before the 2010 census that instead of having the independent commission vote on or choose the districts, now it's the California government controlled by Democrats that are choosing these districts. That's why this is a much more liberal leaning.
With Prop 50 passing, how long are these districts going to be in effect?
We're looking at about 2030. 2030 is the new census. That's when it's going to return to these independent commissions. But this is a reaction to the 2026 congressional elections, where all 435 seats in the House of Representatives are going to be up for election. So kind of going back to that reactionary thing, President Donald Trump called Texas and said, hey, I want more Republicans in the House. That's why they did this redistricting. Now the Democrats are fighting back. Texas gained 5 Republican seats due to their redistricting. Now the Democrats are projected to gain 5 more. The one key thing is that in Texas, the people didn't have a choice on whether they had this redistricting or not. Their government can decide whenever they wanted to redistrict and can decide the districts themselves. In California, Prop 50 allowed the voters to choose themselves. Are we going to redistrict or not?
Definitely. And with this sort of proposition being voted on, what precedent might this set across other states?
So I would argue that Texas was the first one who set this precedent, going against the census and bringing it to the people and to kind of change the district the year before congressional election, a very big congressional election at that. But California choosing to do it themselves, being a more democratic state, very strongly democratic state, might set a precedent for other democratic states to then follow suit. Because the Democrats kind of have a history of not fighting back as hard as the Republicans have. The Republicans will do what they need to win. The Democrats kind of lay there and don't do much. So Gavin Newsom has been the fighting hand of the Democrats in recent years. So Gavin Newsom leading this way in redistricting might lead to other Democratic states then standing up and redistricting themselves to take over the House.
Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio, Noah. Coming up after the break, we'll be hearing about the Newport Beach Film Festival.
And dramatic Game 7 saw the Dodgers making history after winning back-to-back fall classics.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
I have a question about...
The Newport Beach Film Festival held its annual event, bringing in massive crowds to watch cultural documentaries and to celebrate with music and food. Diana Vilches has more on the story.
Lights, camera, action. The Newport Film Festival wrapped up another dazzling year, bringing together film enthusiasts and celebrities for a celebration of cinematic art. From thought-provoking documentaries to captivating true stories, the festival offered a diverse range of films, each telling unique stories that resonated with its audience.
You know, representing culture is so important, especially because we live in the melting pot of Southern California. Everyone should be represented in a certain way, and I thought it was really interesting how we had representation of Australian people. I see a lot of like Asian cultures, like I'm Filipino and I saw the Filipino spotlight, but it was really interesting to be in another pair of shoes.
The film festival is more than just a screening and red carpets. It's a vibrant community that comes together to celebrate the power of storytelling.
I'm here for the Australian Spotlight at the Newport Beach Film Festival for the screening documentary of The Raftsmen.
As a student coordinator who also watched the film, Ms. Perez provided insight into what the film was about.
It's a documentary. I know documentaries aren't for everyone, but I loved it. It's a lot about, it has a sociological twist to it, which I really enjoy. It's about different cultures and different ethnicities and different backgrounds and men from different backgrounds just coming together and kind of simplifying life and living off the ocean.
After all the cultural screenings, they have an after party with performances showcasing their talents. Performers adding a rich layer of cultural diversity to the festival. The Newport Film Festival continues to shine as a beacon for independent cinema, fostering, creating, and inspiring filmmakers and audiences alike. This is Diana Vilches with OC News.
We've just entered November, but it's felt more like spring than fall most days. Let's see what Jenny Guzman has packed for us today in the weather forecast. Take it away.
All right, I have good news and I have bad news. So the good news is we're expecting sunny skies this week. The bad news, I don't really have much else to share on the weather. So you get to see less of me. Womp womp. I'll run through it quickly though, jumping straight into the same day weather forecast. We're sitting comfortably at 70 degrees and humidity levels at 58%. And you know what that means? No complaints here from me. This is a huge improvement from last week when we were melting at 91 degrees. The sun's making its appearance early now at 6 in the morning thanks to daylight savings, and we're wishing the sun an early good night around 5 o'clock. So, finishing up with what today. So, you have to finish up what you have to get done today so you can be snug as a bug tonight with temperatures dropping down to 54 degrees. What bugs me the most is, well, you already know what's coming for the weekly forecast. So why did I need to clock in today? All jokes aside, we'll be enjoying a fun girl fall with these warm temperatures ahead. So save those cozy fall jackets for next week when we will finally have a day off from school on 11/11. And we're looking at a possible cloudy skies. But I'll leave Evan to tell you more about that next week. Thursday will be in the low 70s. And afterwards, 80s, 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 and 80s. Again, why did I clock in? I just sound like a broken record at this point. On a more serious note, Jamaica is still recovering after being hit by Hurricane Melissa last week. While the death toll rises, thousands of survivors are currently displaced around the island and are struggling to recover fresh water for their families. Remnants of what were once homes and communities are now all that's left, alongside the long road to rebuilding from the ground up. The International Federation of Red Cross and its Jamaican division are currently working together to reach these communities to assist with the relief and humanitarian measures. We'll keep a close eye on Jamaica and hope resources reach them soon. Other than that, remember to dress lightly and get your sunnies ready. Back to you guys at the desk.
Women's basketball had their home opener yesterday, marking the start of a brand new season. I stopped by Titan Gym to see how the Titans measured up against Pepperdine in their first home test of the year.
Titans hit the court inside Titan Gym, looking to bounce back and build early season momentum. Fans filled the stands as Cal State Fullerton hosted the Pepperdine Waves in a non-conference matchup filled with energy and intensity from the opening tip. Despite a tight battle, the Titans fell just short, showing flashes of what's to come as the season gets underway.
Good production equals great production. So if they're producing on the court and we're producing a good product, it's a perfect marriage.
It was a hard-fought battle today in Titan Gym. Whether it was a win or a tough loss, the Titans showed they're ready to compete with anyone.
But though the night didn't come without challenges, the Titans continued to show growth and determination. With conference play on the horizon, the team is focused on building consistency and turning effort into results.
Just, like to show support to the Fullerton teams and stuff, and it's fun to watch sports and foster a nice school community.
With Pepperdine behind them, the Titans now shift their attention to their next matchup. As conference play approaches, Cal State Fullerton hopes to keep the momentum going one game at a time. From Titan Gym, I'm Ariel Phillips.
From an exhilarating World Series finish to multiple awards and records in Cal State Fullerton sports, Sergio Gonzalez has the latest.
Thanks, Ariel and Kabir. Game 7 of the World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays fittingly had it all. I mean, me personally, I have never been so uneasy watching a sports game, but the game's theatrics were insane. The Dodgers never led until Will Smith put the team in front with a solo shot in the 11th inning. The Dodgers were down to their last 2 outs when the unlikeliest of heroes, Miguel Rojas, wanted his first home run in over a month to knot the game in the 9th. The benches cleared. They cleared in a Game 7. Each team deployed multiple starting pitchers throughout the game. The Dodgers defense made 2 improbable season-saving plays in the 9th inning, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, on 0 days of rest, closed out the final 3 innings, ultimately securing the World Series MVP. Los Angeles celebrates consecutive titles, cementing a dynasty and becoming the first team to repeat in over 24 years. On Tuesday, a handful of Cal State Fullerton men's soccer players earned Big West Conference honors, commemorating their strong individual campaigns. Senior Mario Carlos was named the Big West Offensive Player of the Year. Carlos, the first Titan to win the accolade since Roberto Ordóñez in 2023, finished the year tied for the Big West goal lead with 7. Both De La Torre and Carlos also earned first-team All-Big West honors. Defenseman Nick Rellerford earned All-Big West second-team honors, while Ulysses Grado, Matthew Sacristan, and Fernando Valenzuela earned All-Big West honorable mentions. They all will turn their attention to tonight when they host number 5 ranked UC Davis in the Big West Championship first round. Cal State Fullerton's men's basketball team opened their season with an absolute bang on Monday night, setting a program record with their most points in a game in a 136, yes, you heard that right, to 82 victory over Caltech. Communication across the court made the offense look effortlessly comfortable as the team dished out 37 assists as a team. They combined for 16 three-pointers, one shy of tying a single-game program record. All 12 players that saw the court had multiple points, with 11 recording an assist. Jaden Henderson led the way with 25 points on 10 of 16 shooting, while going 5 for 7 from beyond the arc. Freshman KJ Garris had 22 to his name on 8 of 12 shooting, and Bryce Cofield contributed with 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. The game was promising for a completely new-look team who returns just one player from last season. That's all I've got for today's sports news. Thank you, and sending it back to you two at the desk.
Stick with us. When we get back from the break, we'll take a look at some of the new films hitting the box office.
And we'll take a peek inside one of the longest-running traditions of the holiday season.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills. Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
How prepared is your family if a wildfire shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or an earthquake? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
I heard the Sexiest Man Alive was just named, and Jaden Fernandez wasn't the winner. But he does know who he came second place to.
Yeah, Kabir, you're right. It wasn't me, but hopefully I can get it next year. People's Magazine chose a new Sexiest Man Alive, and it is no other than handsome actor Jonathan Bailey. Recognized for his roles in Wicked, Jurassic World Rebirth, and TV show Bridgerton, the English actor is the first ever openly gay Sexiest Man alive. The 37-year-old told People Magazine that it is a huge honor, and as hard as it was to keep it a secret, the only person he told was his furriest best friend, Benson. Bailey discusses more about his personal life, career, his charity supporting LGBTQ+ community, and what he looks for in a relationship. As I can't wait to see The Sexiest Man Alive in theaters soon and Wicked for Good, let's talk about the latest in the box office. In third is the anime film Chainsaw Man, the movie Res Arc, about the character Denji and his resurrection deal with his devil dog, Pochita. The film took home a domestic total of $6.2 million in its second week of release. Also in its second week of release, Colleen Hoover's Regretting You, about the relationship strain between a mother and daughter after a tragic accident occurred in their family. The family comes to discover new secrets and new love. The movie placed second and earned $7.8 million domestically. And taking the victory is horror and thriller movie, The Black Phone 2. The Grabber's ghost seeks revenge on Finn by terrorizing his sister Gwen through her psychic dreams. The movie earned a gross of $8.3 million. I still really want to watch Black Phone 2, so please message me if you want to watch it too. As we step away from the spookiness of Halloween to Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays, the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade rehearsals are just beginning. Volunteer balloon handlers were doing test runs Saturday in New Jersey. A lot of these balloons are as big as 3 to 4-story buildings. As the parade is reaching its 99th year, the parade will showcase new balloons ranging from video game characters like Mario and Pac-Man to the beloved characters Shrek and Buzz Lightyear. If you're curious about what balloons will be showcased at the parade, you can look at Macy's.com or you can watch on Thanksgiving Day. Talking about Thanksgiving is making me really hungry, so I'm gonna go get food and pass it back to the desk.
The Wiener Dog National Championship race took place on Sunday at the Old World Village in Huntington Beach. Colin Costigan has more.
Over 20 dogs each competed in 2 separate relays, where the top 3 advanced to the finals. This was their 10th race of the season for the Wiener Dogs National Championship. Dachshunds of all sizes were ready to face off. Some were willing to scare off the competition. The owners also emphasized what they love about this event.
Oh, just the excitement of all. There's nothing cuter in the world than Wiener dogs running.
The first race featured close finishes, dominant victories, and other dogs who didn't quite have the right idea. Judging each relay is certainly not easy, yet they still thoroughly enjoy the experience.
It's the race. It is repping the race, seeing the dogs run, the joy, the excitement of the guests, just the whole everything, actually. It's just amazing.
Then came the ultimate spectacle, where 28 dogs fought for the coveted prize. Just like the first race, there were close finishes and especially increased tensions. Some dogs experienced the rewards of victory, devastation from elimination, while some tried to plead with the judge. Hours of racing all came down to the final relay for the championship. Osha, you are now back-to-back Wiener Dog Racing World Champion. How do you feel?
Very well said. Congratulations, Osha. Thank you very much.
The Old World Village will host one more race this year on December 7th, which will certainly be another enjoyable and positive event. Reporting from Huntington Beach, I'm Colin Costigan with OC News.
Make sure you have some queso, salsa, and guacamole within reach. That's because Thursday is National Nachos Day. The longtime favorite snack originated in Mexico. History has it that it was created by a restaurant worker nicknamed Nacho. In the 1940s, he needed a snack for a group of U.S. Army wives who walked in, so he cut up tostadas into triangle shapes and covered them with cheese and jalapenos. The snack was a hit. The popularity of nachos spread throughout Texas, the Southwest, and eventually nationwide. Today, of course, a plate of nachos is considered a mainstay for parties and get-togethers of all sizes. You know, with all this talk about Nacho Day, are there any foods you don't have a national holiday for?
A National Grilled Cheese Day. It's my favorite food.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you for joining us on OC News this week. Our next show will be up in a few moments. My name is Ariel Phillips.
And my name is Kabir Kansara. Make sure to follow us on social media at Titan TV CSUF and OC News CSUF. Thanks for watching.